interesting post that I read yesterday where somebody asked, I think AI, Claude, I think this is interesting. It says, what's the best mind trick a human can do? And then the response I thought was quite interesting and profound. I want to talk about this. So the response was, that's a fun question. I'd say that the best mind trick a human can pull off is reframing, the ability to consciously change the meaning you assign to a situation without any of the facts actually changing. Here's why it stands above other mental tricks. Reframing is the foundation that most other impressive cognitive feats rest on. Staged mnemonics, cold reading, cognitive behavioral therapy, negotiation tactics, and even meditation. They all depend and I would say prayer too. They all depend at some level on the brain's capacity to look at the same input and deliberately choose a different interpretation. It's the meta trick that makes the other tricks work. A classic example, if you're stuck in traffic and your heart rate is climbing, nothing about the cars around you has changed, but you can shift from I'm trapped and wasting my life to this is 20 uninterrupted minutes where nobody can ask me for anything. The same gridlock, completely different emotional experience. This sounds trivial on paper, but the downstream effects on stress hormones, decision-making quality, and even long-term health are enormous. Decades of research in cognitive psychology, particularly Aaron Beck's and Albert Ellis's work, I don't know, show that people who learn to reframe systematically experience measurable reductions in anxiety and depression, not because their lives got easier, but because they changed the lens. And I would say, actually, I'm grateful that I've noticed that this has been one of the superpowers in my entire life. I don't know how I developed this sort of need to do this. Maybe because my family immigrated to the U.S. when I was only 6 or 7, so I had to be in a environment that was very foreign to me, and nobody else looked like me, and I had to anyway. Just growing up, I had the various experiences where I had to reframe to say, well, how is this a blessing in disguise? How is this a blessing in disguise? How is that a blessing? And I've just done this so instinctively throughout my entire life. I mean, I've practiced it again and again, just like not even as a. And then recently, well, I just read this to you, but recently I also came across this wonderful concept called active trust. And it's related here because this person, and I'll try to find the source and I'll link it below. This person says there are two kinds of trust. There's passive trust and there's active trust. Passive trust, and we're talking about spiritual trust, right? Passive trust is surrender. God, thy will be done. This thing happened to me. Oh, God, thy will be done. Just, whatever happens, God, thy will be done. So I'm going to surrender. Passive trust, important, needed sometimes, right? Like you sometimes can't do anything but that other than wallow in pain and suffering, right? Passive trust. Active trust is this reframing, basically. Active trust is like, whatever's happening, I'm going to actively say, that's being done for me. This is happening for me. And what could it be reinterpreted as being for me? Oh, this pain that I have, how is it for me? Well, that means I don't know. But that's part of the creativity that the human brain is so good at, and I would say invited into, right? Telling stories. Like we could tell a better story about why this pain, right? Pain is required in this life for everybody, has already experienced it, but suffering is optional. So that comes with active trust or reframing, to tell a different story about whatever you're going through so that it's actually a benefit. To say, oh yeah, I'm so lucky that, that this, because it means that I get to do this, or I get to learn this, or that means I get to, like a lot of times I'm like, when a business mishap happens for me, right? When I launch something and it totally turns out like nobody signed up or something like that, I actively reframe it right away, actively trust. I go, oh, this helps me empathize with my clients much better. Honestly, it does. And it's not, I'm not just saying that because I've gotten so good at this. It's really true. It's really helps me empathize with people who also launch things and get zero signups. It's like, okay, I know exactly how you feel because it literally just happened to me 2 weeks ago or whatever. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that. I hope this is helpful in some way and always looking forward to your comments below.